Welcome back, watch people. Now today I want to talk to you about prices and discounts, not just for the Rolex watch brand as well. So all you fans out there of other watch brands, hang on, because I'm going to come to those in just a few minutes. Let's get the elephant out of the room first. Let's get the Rolex discount out of the way. Now firstly, if you're buying anything from the Rolex professional range, in other words stainless steel Rolex sports watches in particular, and most of the bimetal ones and pretty much all of the gold ones as well, in 2020 you're probably not going to be able to get a discount, even from some of the more commonly available shop window watches such as the Yachtmaster 2. You know, you'll often walk past an authorised dealer's window and see a bimetal Yachtmaster 2 in the window. Would you be in order asking for a discount on that watch? Well, why not? It's in his shop window. If it's in his shop window, it can't be that sought after, can it? That would be, you know, my way of putting it to him. But look, they're probably going to feed you the old line that you're privileged just to be able to have the chance to buy it in the first place, and that they are not offering any discounts whatsoever. Now, to be fair, to some degree, they're right, because look, that Yachtmaster 2 in their window will sell to someone, and it will sell to someone at full price, and they probably haven't got another 3 or 4 out the back to replace it with either. So I think, guys, look, there's no crime in asking, there's no harm in asking, but I wouldn't push the point with the Rolex professional range, because it's probably not going to happen. When you start talking about precious metal watches outside of the professional range, when you start talking about bimetal watches outside of the professional range, namely Datejust, mainly of course, then you certainly are in order asking for a discount, because these are strictly shop window watches. These are watches that are available from just about every authorised Rolex dealer right across the world. So there's no reason on earth why you shouldn't ask for, and it's my belief, why you shouldn't get at least 5% off the window price. If they say to you that, look, we don't discount our watches at all, just say, well, look, that's fine, but I've got another authorised dealer that will give me 5%. Thank you very much. Have a good day. And I just get the feeling that they'll probably decide to match that, because they will believe that there are authorised dealers out there prepared to give you 5%, maybe even 7% off the price of a stainless steel and gold Rolex Datejust. And also some of the some of the stainless steel models that haven't got the so much sought after dials, like the blue dial, etc, etc. Look, the bottom line is, guys, and the rule with discounts and authorised dealers is there's no harm in asking, but at the same time you don't want to make yourself look stupid in doing so. So leave the discounts alone with the sports watches, is my opinion, unless it's a shop window sports watch. Absolutely do not be asking for a discount off of a Submariner or a GMT or a Daytona, because you're just going to get laughed out of the store, in all honesty. But there's a caveat to all this, guys. There's another little part to this story, isn't there? Now, we all know that authorised dealers are asking you and encouraging you to buy watches that you may not necessarily want, before you're going to get offered the chance to buy a watch that you really do want, a hot sports model, for example. And invariably, this will usually be from the Datejust range. Now, we're coming up to the time of year where a lot of men buy Datejust. They buy them for their wives, they might buy one for themselves as we approach the Christmas period. Now, here's the thing. My thoughts on this are as follows. Look, if they want you to play ball with them in their stores and buy watches that you don't necessarily want to buy, or you're happy to buy but they're not number one on your list, then they should be prepared to play ball with you. So my way of approaching this would be, look, I'll play ball with you. You know, I want to get on the list for a Daytona, I want to get on the list for a Submariner, etc, etc. I'll buy you Datejust, but give me 10%. You know, play willing with me. I'm playing ball with you. I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine. So I think if you're going to buy a Datejust from any authorised dealer to try and move yourself up that ladder, you are perfectly in order in asking for that discount. And of course, don't forget, guys, if you happen to be travelling out of the UK or whichever country you reside in, a lot of these Datejust models are available duty free at your airport. So for example, if you're travelling outside of the EU in the UK, we will probably be able to obtain Most of the Datejust models that you'll see in most authorised dealers' windows, if that makes sense, i.e. the bimetal models, you'll be able to buy them with 20% off. So there's actually, with so many cheap flights around these days, it's almost a case for buying a cheap ticket out of the EU, not even leaving the country, buying your watch at the airport and then just coming out and going home. Something that did crop up in my mind, once we leave the EU, depending on what sort of trade deal we get, there's a possibility that we might be able to buy duty-free watches when we fly into countries such as Spain. I don't think that is going to happen. I think that the trade deal that we end up with probably won't allow us to do that, but it's something worth thinking about for the future. On to other brands. Tudor, for example. Are you in order asking for a discount from your Tudor watch? Absolutely. And apart from maybe the Black Bay 58, possibly, look, most of the other watches I would definitely be asking for a discount for. Not the Harrods, obviously not the Harrods Black Bay, you're not going to get a discount from that. But again, we're talking shop window watches. So if anyone doesn't know what I mean by a shop window watch, if you walk past an authorised dealer's shop window and a watch is in the window, it's a shop window watch. All the sexy stuff is either out the back or it's not in the window at all. So if a watch is in the shop window, do not be afraid to ask for a discount from the Tudor range. I would start off at being really cheeky and asking for 15% and work your way backwards from there. When we look at brands such as Breitling and Omega, etc., then we really start to pile on the pressure. I would suggest then that you look at starting at 25%. Again, aiming high to shoot a little bit lower. Most of the watches in your authorised dealer shop window from the Breitling and Omega range, you will definitely be able to get a discount from. You must ask, you should ask, you're in order to ask. And in fact, if I'm honest, the sales assistants will probably be surprised if you're too polite to ask. So please, please, please make sure you asked for your discount. Other brands that you'll see in your local high street, you know, we're coming up to Christmas, so there'll be people out there going to buy Gucci watches. There'll be people out there buying Bremonts. There'll be people out there buying Longines and all sorts of different brands. Always, always, always ask for a discount. And my suggested starting point for all of those sort of brands is 20 to 25%. You can only ask. If you don't ask, you won't get. Now guys, look, there's no doubt about it that retailers across the world in our high streets and shopping malls have had a rough year. They've been closed for what? I don't know, a third of it. And they will have sales targets to meet, and they'll no doubt be worried about their Christmas targets and their Christmas sales. So that would be the time for you to strike whilst the iron is hot. Discounts, discounts, discounts. It's vital that you do not find yourself in a position where you're afraid or embarrassed to ask for a discount. You know, look, one of the things that you can do, and I did a video called the poker face walk away buying method of how to buy a watch. You should go back and watch that video, guys. But one thing perhaps that might go down well with the dealers that you're working with, the authorised dealers in particular, is if you've got your eye on a watch in the window, rather than show a lot of interest in the watch before you ask them if a discount is available, just walk into the store and say, look, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I want to look at this Tudor watch in the window, but I can buy that watch at 20% off at another authorised dealer. Would you be prepared to match it? And that puts them on the back foot straight away. Straight away, they know that, look, there's no chance of them selling you that watch unless they give you a discount of sorts. Now, their answer to that is probably going to be, well, we couldn't give you 20%, sir, but we could probably work something out. Then you're talking, then's the time to have a look at the watch and take it from there. But I just want to reiterate that, you know, I want to save you guys money this coming Christmas. I know we're getting to the period now where people start to look for Christmas presents, watches as Christmas presents, etc., etc. On the second-hand market, it's precisely the opposite. In the pre-owned market, all of the dealers that I know and associate with right across the world, they're all struggling to find stock. And every one of my sponsors, for example, at the moment. They're more interested in buying, I believe, than selling. And it's the same right across the watch dealing world. Pre-owned watches are hard to find at the moment. They're hard to come by, and dealers are more interested in buying than selling. So discounts available from pre-owned dealers, I think, is obviously going to be more difficult, and you're certainly not going to be talking about the same sort of potential levels that you could potentially be talking about with the authorised dealers. Guys, look, form a relationship with your authorised dealer. Speak to him. Let him know that you're not stupid, that you're aware that you can buy these watches in other places with discounts, particularly when we're not talking about brands such as Rolex. Brands such as Audemars Piguet, Langen's Honor, Vacheron Constantin, Piaget, different brands altogether. Again, you're going to have to go into either a boutique, or you're going to have to go into somewhere like Harrods or Selfridges, to the watch, the Wonder Room, etc. And look, guys, look, you can only ask. Okay, brands like Vacheron, etc., discount. Piaget, discount. Bremont, discount. Audemars Piguet, depends on what you're buying, but discount. You've got to ask. You've got to find the courage to ask. And if you feel awkward, if it's not really your way of doing things, just take me along with you, guys. Just imagine that I'm at your side and I'm there trying to help you. Don't always accept no for an answer, and it doesn't do any harm to walk away and come back half an hour later and say to the salesman, look, are you sure you don't want to do business with me? Because I'm ready to spend, but the price has got to be right. Guys, look, I hope you enjoyed that one. Thanks for watching, and we'll speak again soon.